Hello and welcome to Wednesday's Knots Today with me, Mark Dennison. Thank you for joining us. Here's what we have for you on today's show. Firstly, we'll be meeting the local historian who's taken on the challenge of maintaining historic caves in Dennison.
So important to make sure that people know the history of where they come from and where they're living, and this is a prime example of that history. It needs to be preserved and it needs to be looked after.
More on that shortly. Plus, we'll be hearing how robots could be the solution to filling the shortage of welders in the UK. A new University of Nottingham study is exploring how to use robots with the use of existing human expertise and how that could address worker shortages and prevent the economy from declining. We'll hear all about that later in the show. Plus, we'll be looking at a new summer reading challenge across our city's libraries. The challenge is encouraging children to explore the magical connection between storytelling and the natural world and boost numbers into libraries as well. In sport, we'll be hearing from Nigel Clough after the Stags recorded their third successive pre-season victory with a win in Ireland.
Much sharper in terms of they were closing down and everything stopping us playing, but I thought once we settled down after 5 or 10 minutes, very pleased with the performance overall.
Also reaction from Notts County head coach Martin Patterson after their pre-season camp in Germany ended with a 1-1 draw last night.
I thought they were trying, but it was just probably didn't convert tonight. But again, that's something that we can really work on and be positive that we know we've got people coming back into the squad that are good at those actions.
So all of that and lots more coming up for you, but firstly, historic caves are being restored thanks to the work of Nottingham historians. The Sneinton Hermitage caves have been closed for several years due to being in a poor state of maintenance, but now local historian Janine Tanner has been given the keys to the caves where she'll work with volunteers to restore them to their former glory. Have a look.
I was taking photographs around the Sneinton area and I noticed how overgrown the Sneinton caves had got. And I contacted the council and asked them if they could let me have the keys to clear the caves because they already know me from Longstairs, so I thought that I should be able to get the keys, and then they gave me the keys to maintain the caves, and the rest is history. Caves seem to go back to around the 1600s. People were living in the caves. There was a whole line of caves all the way down this street. Around the 1829, 1830 time, rock started falling in the caves in Narrow-Marsh. That put people off wanting to live around here in the caves. Shortly after that, about 1880s, they built the railway goods depot just above and put a railway bridge going across the road, which meant that they had to demolish a lot of the caves, so this is the only one that's left. It's so important to make sure that people know the history of where they come from and where they're living, and this is a prime example of that history. It's been here 500-600 years since it was built, and it needs to be preserved and it needs to be looked after. We need to maintain this to make sure that it never gets into that state again, and we also need to clear the lower caves because they're full of debris and rubbish, and we need to make sure they're nice and clean and clear so that people can come and have a look at the caves from the outside, and on occasion come through the gates and have a look at them on the inside as well. I spend a lot of time fundraising to get the money to have to be able to maintain the sites like this. Like with Longstairs, it's now going through a restoration because I spent years fundraising for that. I'll also fundraise for this so that we can keep this maintained, and hopefully when it's all clean and clear, I'll be able to start using this as part of the Sneinton community as well.
It's time for our first great guests now, and a critical shortage of welders here in the UK threatens industries like construction and aerospace, and this could have a huge impact on the economy and infrastructure. And according to Axiom personnel, half the nation's welders are due to retire within the next 2 years. But a new study led by the University of Nottingham has revealed robotic welding technology could be the answer to solving these problems, with the robots able to learn from skilled welders and provide new unseen tasks. Joining us now to tell us more about this is Dr. Abdul Khalik Mohammed from the university and PhD student Junfu Zhao. Warm welcome to both of you. Thank you for coming in. Abdul, if I can start with you, why this shortage of welders then?
Actually, it is due to like several reasons. One of them is Brexit. Basically, it's very hard now to recruit skilled welders. And as you said, by 2027, half of these skilled welders basically were retired. So it is quite hard to have this skills kept in the UK and also worldwide. So we aim to let the robots learn these kind of skills and store them in a library, and after that do this process instead of the human, basically.
Okay. And Junfu, I assume, have you been working with the robots yourself? What's it like working with robots?
It's more like stay with a friend in the lab.
Right.
So I can do the welding myself, and the robot can do it also.
Yeah.
So that's more like I will talk to the robot and ask it or them to do something like what I did. So generally the idea is more like if we cannot use, if we do not have enough welder to deal with this kind of welding task,
Sure.
we can ask the robot to do it.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I understand the logic. I suppose my question is that, well, there are so many questions. How do you teach a robot to do it? Is it all through software?
When we communicate with the robot, yes, it's from the software.
Yeah.
We need to write some code in the PC and then connect a cable to the robot.
Right.
Ask them to finish it.
Yeah.
But I'm still the one in control.
Yeah, because people worry about this, though, don't they? People worry about AI and robots.
Yeah, it is quite a simple process. We can imagine it as like you teach a kid basically how to write the words. So imagine that we'd like to teach a student to write Nottingham. So first we teach them how to write letter by letters, like A, B, C, D, and so on, and keep this in kind of memory. And after that we teach them how to divide the word Nottingham into letters. After that, they bring what they learned from the memory and start to write the word Nottingham like letter by letter. So basically, we memorize them as small tasks, like writing these kind of letters, and after that, teach them how to divide a large task or unseen task to this kind of small tasks. So if we produce a new word or introduce a new word for them, for example, London, so they will divide it into letters again, and
so you break it down into small
tasks,
yeah.
And they memorize these small tasks.
And in terms of the robots being taught to do this, then, Junfu, how are they doing at the moment? What level are they at? Are they good welders?
That depends on what we teach them.
Right.
Yeah. So still now we rely on the welder skill as our highest level. So if the welder is a skilled welder, the robot will more likely to perform a good welding quality. But if it's a novice welder, the robot may learn some bad skills and get bad quality.
Yeah, so you need that human interaction, don't you, at least to start. And where are we at then, Abdul, in terms of this becoming a normal thing in society? When do you think that might be that robots are doing the welding?
We just started this kind of project, I think, a few years ago, like 2 years ago. And now we prove the concept that the robot can learn from skilled welders. In the future, we aim to make more complex tasks, because the current task is basically a 2D task, basically on a flat surface. But Junfu now working on 3D structure, so we can make more complex structure and weld them. And after that, we implement it in real application.
Yeah. And again, going back to these fears that people have about AI and robots, sounds like we need both at the moment. You need humans to teach.
Sometimes we also find that some things can be done better by the robot. For example, the wire feeding. The wire feeding is done by the human, like in kind of steps, but the robot can do it smoothly and continuously. So it can produce like a smooth surface of the word.
Yeah.
But some other parts also can be done better by the skilled welders.
We'll have to catch up another time. We're out of time. But thank you both for coming in. Fascinating. In other Notts news now, an appeal has been launched following a crash between vehicles on a horse trap in Newark. The incident happened on Saturday just before 7 p.m. on Beacon Hill Road, with multiple vehicles damaged. As a result of the incident, Nottinghamshire Police has released the image of a man that they want to speak to. It's on your screen now. And they say they want anyone who recognises him or who was in the area at the time to get in touch with them on 101. An inquest has opened into the death of a woman at a Nottinghamshire reservoir. The body of 39-year-old Makalai Ashok Kumar was found in Kings Mill Reservoir on May the 7th this year, with an inquest into her death opening at Nottingham Coroner's Court on Tuesday. A post-mortem investigation found her cause of death was drowning and airway obstruction, with the hearing adjourned until a later date. A large cordon was put in place at the Sutton-in-Ashfield Reservoir while the death was investigated back in May. And a teenage boy has been arrested after police pulled a suspected drug dealer from a scooter around Old Market Square. Officers were on patrol in the city centre on Monday when they spotted someone acting suspiciously shortly after 2 p.m. As they approached the suspect, he attempted to pull away on an electric scooter, was detained by police and put in handcuffs. A search found a quantity of cannabis and cash, and the boy was arrested for possessing a Class B drug and the theft of a pedal bike. Time for a short break now. When we come back, we'll be hearing all about how you and your kids can get involved with a new summer reading challenge at the city's library. We've got your full sports roundup as well. More pre-season action for Mansfield and Notts. The details are coming next. Welcome back to Wednesday's show with me, Mark Dennison. Thank you for joining us. Here's what's happening in Notts today. Firstly, progress is being made to open up a ghost tram stop in Nottingham that could serve a new NHS centre near the old Broadmarsh. Foundations for the Broadmarsh tram stop were built along the viaduct just on Middle Hill more than 20 years ago, but haven't been used. However, plans are in place to look to open up the stop to serve a new NHS diagnostics centre, which is due to be built on the former shopping centre land. This centre will be able to quickly test patients without them having to go to hospital, and tram bosses hope to bring the stop into use. Next, and temporary facilities are now being planned while Nottingham City Council looks to finally get Sherwood Library open. The opening of the new library was delayed beyond its planned initial date of last summer while a raft of problems with the building were assessed. The long-delayed facility was discussed at the full council meeting on Monday, and the authority's leader, Negat Khan, said legal options are actively being considered, as well as temporary facilities to ensure people in the city suburb have access to library services. We're going to stay with libraries now because it's time for our second great chat on the show, and we're about to hear how you and the kids or grandkids can get involved with a new summer reading challenge right here in Nottingham. The city's library services are challenging families to take part in the project, which is encouraging children to explore the magical connection between storytelling and the natural world. This year's theme is Adventures in Nature and the Great Outdoors, and joining us now to tell us more about it is Councillor Coral Jenkins, the City Council's Executive Member for Neighbourhoods. Thank you for joining us, Councillor Coral. Tell us about the challenge. Why is it actually happening?
Well, it's a national initiative, and it's about trying to keep youngsters inspired through the summer holidays. It's not a relatively new thing. It's something we do year on year. And it's amazing how many young children take that on board with their families as well. So they enjoy it, and we want to keep them inspired.
And why is this so important? Is it about kids reading, kids being occupied through the long summer holidays, trying to keep parents sane? What is it?
What it is, literacy is so important to us, but also is well-being. So we're trying to link literacy with well-being this year in the theme, and getting children to read about the outdoors and understand the outdoors and explore the outdoors as well. But in addition to that, by constantly reading, it helps to build their confidence, which is also important to us.
I was having a little look at what's in store, and it's fair to say you've got a lot going on through the summer holidays. Feel free to embellish on this, but one of the things I noticed in particular was you giving people a chance to win some free books. Is that right?
Yes, we do a challenge where we challenge youngsters to read as many books as they can through the summer, and as part of the reward process, they get a certificate and some books that we give away to them. And it's amazing how these young children really take it on board and strive to achieve those free books and the certificates. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. What else is going on then, Coral? Talk us through some of the highlights for this.
Well, apart from the reading challenge and where they do get their certificates and the prize and the photograph, there's also different weekly activities going on across all the libraries. There'll be comic masterclasses, there'll be theatre themed adventures in the library for the under sevens. They'll be able to join other workshops like moving robots workshops. So there's a lot of different activities for different age ranges that are going off at the library. So we want people to get in and learn and know their library and be comfortable within their library.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, isn't it, that, you know, we talk a lot about libraries. We just were with the example of Sherwood Library, and of course you've been no stranger to the issue of libraries yourself, Councillor. Is this part of trying to make libraries even more part of the fabric of the community?
Some would argue that libraries are already a fabric of our community, and it's about bringing the young adults and children through the library system as a welcoming, warm, encouraging place, safe place as well, where they can explore the different types of books and learn different things through reading and build their confidence through reading. But apart from that, we've got the IT element, the technology element as well in libraries that they can also explore. So it's seeing the library as a friend.
Yeah. Huge resource as well. So look, when is this taking place? Because countdown is on now to the summer holidays, isn't it? Is this running right the way through the break?
It started on the 5th of July and it's all the way through the summer period. So it's a national scheme and it's one that goes on every year. So yes, it started from the 5th of July.
Okay. And where and how can people find out more?
They can either go to their local library and find out more information that way, or they can go to the council website where we've got everything advertised there. But it is really a joyous and wonderful event, and the young children really do enjoy this. And I've been doing this now for about 3 years, and the excitement not only on the young children's faces but those of their parents who actively get involved as well is amazing. So we want to keep that enthusiasm going.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you will. I appreciate you joining us, Councillor Coral, and wish you a good summer as well, and to everyone that takes up the offer as well. Thank you for coming on the programme. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Now then, time for some sport now, and we'll start with Mansfield Town, who made it 3 pre-season wins from 3 matches after victory in Ireland last night. The Stags saw off League of Ireland side Sligo Rovers thanks to a first half brace from Rhys Oates and a deflected strike from Dom Dwyer to Will Evans. But that all came after the home side took the lead inside 10 minutes through a try list. Speaking after the match, Stags manager Nigel Clough said it was great to get more minutes under the belt as his squad prepares for League One next month.
Much sharper in terms of they were closing down and everything stopping us playing, but I thought once we settled down after 5 or 10 minutes, very, very pleased with the performance overall. I thought 2 brilliant finishes, especially the second one to hit it first time, similar to not quite as spectacular as Aaron Lewis's at Accrington a couple of years back, but a very, very good finish indeed. Lovely to see him back, you know, and just keep building his fitness up now, and he's a good sort of threat in behind and everything, and it's lovely. He's got 3 goals now in the last 2 games. Will Evans was just eating a piece of pizza while he was discussing it. Dom hadn't come in yet, so I think that's a conversation to have on the coach journey back, but I think it's hit Will Evans, so it'll probably be his goal.
So I was distracted there by pizza. Notts County also in action last night as they brought their pre-season tour of Germany to an end with a 1-1 draw away at Stuttgart Kickers. The Magpies were denied victory through a late Kickers goal, which cancelled out Rod McDonald's first half opener to share the spoils in Stuttgart. The result means that Notts were winless from their 3 matches in Germany. And speaking after full-time, head coach Martin Patterson said he's still learning how to get the best out of his squad.
That balance of being a in possession team, but then when you actually do break the line and you get in behind people, then you've got to capitalise and take the moment. You're not always going to score. You've got to make peace with that, and they've got to be positive in their actions. I thought they were trying, but it was just probably didn't convert tonight. But again, that's something that we can really work on and be positive. That we know we've got people coming back into the squad that are good at those actions and can make moments like that matter. So disappointed to see the goal. Always am, because regardless if you think it's offside or not, I don't know. It looked like it, but I just thought we got caught cold of all the changes. But I'll debrief that quite brutally, as I always do, because we want to win.
On to cricket, and the Blaze are in Vitality Blast action this evening when they take on Somerset in Taunton. The women have already secured their spot at the Kia Oval's finals day thanks to their recent victory over Essex, and have 2 final group stage fixtures to prepare them for the showpiece day in September. They play the first of those fixtures this evening when they take on Somerset from 6 p.m. before travelling to face Hampshire, and that's on Sunday. And staying with cricket, there's 2 more fixtures for the Notts Outlaws as they prepare to conclude their own T20 season, starting with a trip to Worcestershire on Thursday before welcoming Lancashire to Trent Bridge on Friday evening. They most recently saw off Durham thanks to a near-perfect display, and speaking after that match, 4-wicket bowler Daniel Sams says there's a real unity among the squad as they look to continue their good form.
Yeah, it's been awesome. The squad's obviously quite young. And there's a lot of learning happening, but I think, the skill that we've got in the change room with the learning that's happening puts us in good stead. And just the environment in the change rooms, and whether we're out playing golf or out for a meal or whatever, it's a good bunch of guys to be around. Yeah, 100%. We need to go win-win and then find ourselves in the quarters. So, the guys are going to freshen up, have a couple of days of training, and we'll go back at it.
Spot the connection between cricket and picture of the day, and we thank Captured by Coops for this beautiful shot of 3 beautiful ducklings and their mum taking over at the University of Nottingham campus out for a duck. See what I did there? Whack, whack. Send us your pictures on our socials at Notts_TV. I thank you in advance for that. Weather-wise, been a bit of a mixed one today, quite cloudy, some sunny spells. It was up to 23 degrees this afternoon, down to 14 degrees overnight tonight. Tomorrow, more sunny spells, a little bit warmer, highs of 25 tomorrow afternoon and lows of 18 tomorrow night. Could get a bit muggy. Hotter still on Friday, highs of 27 degrees. Again, sunny spells in between bits of cloud. Humidity's pretty high as well. That's almost the end of the show. Thank you for watching. Thanks to all of our brilliant guests and to the entire team behind the scenes. Emma's here 5:30 tomorrow with all the latest. Meantime, bye-bye.